What's the mob's involvement in pizza? Let me get rid of this right away, or let me talk about this right away. Hey everybody, welcome to another Sit Down with Michael Franzese. Hope everybody is doing well. Everything is very good, very blessed on this end. As always, we give God all the praise, honor, and glory for that. Two things real quick. June 24th, Lorraine Theater in Lorain, Ohio. You can go on there and get tickets right now. I'll be there that night. Then I'm going over to Little Italy. Thank you for all the people from Cleveland that have been reaching out to me, hearing about this, inviting me to dinner, and just wonderful people there in Cleveland. We're going to have a great night. We're going to talk about the Cleveland mob, talk about my life, talk about things in the mafia. You can do a Q&A, the whole bit. We're going to have a book signing. We're going to take photos, giveaways, the whole bit. So be there. June 24th, Lorraine Theater. Get your tickets now. They're filling up fast, and they will sell out, number one. Also, July 22nd at the James L. Knight Center in Miami. Myself and Mike Tyson will be there, a night you won't forget. Two guys on the stage from Brooklyn that are going to give a lot of stuff that you've never heard before. I promise you that. And I think a special guest, Chaz Palminteri, will probably be there too. We're going to be doing a Q&A. We're going to have a book signing. We're also going to be giving away signed posters. We got a VIP section. It's going to be a great night. Get your tickets right now on Ticketmaster. That will sell out for sure. If you live in the Miami area, anywhere in Florida, not too long a drive, we hope to see you there. So, pizza. Let's talk about pizza. Now, everybody's going to think, Michael, you're pushing slices because you know I'm involved there. I'm not pushing slices, but pizza, you know, everybody loves pizza. It's got to be number one, number two, number three best food in the world for people. I have never met anybody that doesn't like pizza. If you don't like pizza, let me know. Do it in the comment section. In my 72 years, I'm coming up with a birthday very soon, I've never known anybody that didn't like pizza. So if you don't like pizza, let me know. But we're going to talk about that. What's the mob's involvement in pizza? Let me get rid of this right away, or let me talk about this right away. We all know about the pizza connection, right? Yes, I was in jail with Badalamenti, who was the alleged boss at that time. Bunch of guys, I think there was 25 or 30 guys that were indicted. They went to trial. A bunch of guys got convicted. Some took pleas. Badalamenti, I think he got 30 or 35 years and was deported back to Italy. But the whole scheme, there was morphine that was, came out of Turkey, sent to Sicily where it was processed, then brought over to the United States, and it was sold in pizza stores in New York, Illinois, Wisconsin, I think maybe a few other states. So it was a big case, and obviously an undercover investigation. A couple of guys flipped on that, and it was a big deal. The only other involvement I know that might be a little bit, sketchy, I would say, well, it is sketchy, is a guy by the name of Ralphie Cuomo. He was a Lucchese guy. He wasn't a made guy, he was an associate, but he came out of jail, he lived in Little Italy, and he opened up a pizza place and called it Ray's Pizza. And it was a very famous place, and he didn't put any sauce on it. It was white pizza, but it really took off, and it did extremely well. As a matter of fact, there are a lot of Ray's pizzas that weren't owned by Ralphie, but because the name Ray's took off, a lot of people opened up a Ray's Pizza in different parts of the city and the country, actually. Actually, when my wife first came to New York when I was in jail and she was visiting me, she first ate Ray's Pizza in New York and she loved it. It's not the same right now. I've been to a few, not as good, but back then it was terrific. Well, anyhow, it was kind of a front. Well, I shouldn't say that. I mean, they were doing legitimate business out there, really, but they were also using it to wash drug money. It became a hangout for a lot of Lucchese guys. They would hang out there back in the 60s. It was a big deal, big thing happened there. And I think, little Al DiArco, he was a boss for the Lucchese's at one point. He flipped, he became a government informant. Put a lot of guys away, maybe 50 guys at that time, and he kind of blew the whistle on what was going on in that place. And by the way, I'm going to do a whole video on this, not right now because it is a complicated story. I'll get into it. But he was very much against drugs being sold in the neighborhood. Little Al DiArco was, because some of their own kids were buying the drugs that were being sold in the neighborhood. That's another video. We'll get into it another time. But that's, kind of the mob involvement. Why would they get involved in a pizza place? Because back then, it was all cash. And anytime you have a cash business, it's easy to wash illegal money. So remember that. Not the same today. Just about everything is done by credit card. And if the government institutes what they want to, what they put it in play, pretty soon you're not going to be able to hide anything because everything's going to be digital. It's going to be terrible. Can't hide anything. But again, that's for another video. But let's talk about pizza. I was in a place in Palm Desert. I think it's called Piero's. And we went there several years ago with my family. They were one of the first places that had the wood-burning oven, where you put the pizza in, within 90 seconds it's done. And it was delicious, so good, just delicious. And we keep going back to that place. We were there just about a week and a half ago and really enjoyed it. And they have a great menu. I'm not here to push the place, but I'm telling you, certain places out here in California, you can't get arancini, rice balls. I love those. You can't get broccoli rabe, I love that. You can't get it. But in New York, you get it all the time, and places back east, Midwest, you do. But you don't get it much out here. But the place is great, and the pizza is terrific. I like my pizza well done. And so they make it like that. So anyway, they have a placemat on the table that talks about the history of pizza. I thought it was really interesting, and I know people love food stuff, so I wanted to get into this. I'm actually going to read what's on the placemat. I think you'll like it. The history of pizza, from this place. So I'm going to read not all of it, but I'll read some excerpts. Pizza has been a part of the elemental part of Italy's diet since the Stone Age. Goes back that far, when it was baked under the rocks of a fire. That's how they baked it. Seasonings evolved slowly, so the primitive pizzas were often eaten as plain flatbreads. So I don't even know why they called it pizza. It was just a plain flatbread, no tomatoes or anything on it, but they called it pizza. Well, they didn't call it pizza, but that's how it originated. In addition, they had not been given the term pizza. What helped pizza bridge the time gap and evolve into one of today's most popular food, if not the most popular, were tomatoes. The tomato was an item of speculation and mystery up until the 16th century. In fact, many Europeans thought the tomatoes to be poisonous because it looks like, that looks like a poison thing or something back then. Poor citizens in the ghettos of Naples began adding tomatoes to their flatbreads in the mid-16th century, sparking the birth of modern pizza. So it happened in the 16th century. And so that's kind of how it evolved. Now, when they go back to the history of pizza, they go back to 79 AD. So let me read this. Artifacts such as marble slabs and culinary tools resembling those commonly found in today's pizzerias, so they found tools that look like, what you see today in a pizza store, were discovered in the ashes that were smoldering in Pompeii after the eruption of Mount Vesuvius on August 24, 79 AD. You know that all of Pompeii was destroyed when that volcano erupted. But that's when they found the first artifacts that said, hey, they were making pizza way back then, 79 AD. In the 16th century, tomatoes were brought back to Italy from the New World, so we actually gave them tomatoes. They weren't using tomatoes in Italy up until then. The citizens of Naples began adding tomatoes to their flatbreads to form the modern version of pizza. So it happened way back in the 16th century in the city of Naples. In the 17th century, tourists flocked to the poor neighborhoods of Naples where men called pizzaioli cooked pizza. So the men were called pizzaiolis, and they cooked the pizza. In the 18th century, Queen Maria Carolina was the wife of King Ferdinando IV, had a pizza oven built in their summer places of Capodimonte. The chef could now serve pizza to their guests. So she liked pizza so much, she had an oven put in her place, and now they serve pizza to everybody. So now we go to the 19th century. King Umberto and Queen Margherita met with Chef Raphael Esposito, who baked 3 pizzas for them. So he came up with 3 different recipes. The pizza resembling Italy's flag, which was, I get it, it was the white dough, the red tomato, and the green basil. Makes sense, red, white, and green, the Italian flag. Won the queen over. It was topped with green basil, white mozzarella, and you say mozzarella, not mozzarella, it's mozzarella, and red tomatoes. Esposito honored the queen, naming the pizza Margherita. I'm sure most all of you have had Margherita pizza just like that. Basil, mozzarella. I like it well done, and the sauce, and it's terrific. So in honor of the queen, that's how you got Margherita pizza. That's the history of pizza. Listen, we can add to it, but I'm not doing a documentary on it. I'm just giving you the history. Let's do some fun facts about pizza. Number 1. What's the oldest pizza restaurant? The oldest in the world, the first pizza restaurant in the entire world. It was in Napoli, number one. The oldest pizza restaurant in the world. Antica Pizzeria Portalba is not only the oldest pizzeria in Naples, Italy, but the oldest pizzeria in the whole world. While the restaurant dates back to 1830, the origins of the business go back much further than that. So that's the oldest pizza parlor in the world in Naples. Now, which state do you think loves pizza the most in the United States? I would have never guessed this. I would have said New York, I don't know, maybe Chicago, because those are the two, cities that are famous for pizza. Chicago has the deep dish. New York has every kind of pizza. What do you think's the state that people love pizza the most? Connecticut. Believe that? And there are 3 pizza stores per capita. So Connecticut, they're the best pizza-loving state in the country. Which state do you think had the most pizza restaurants, according to a survey that was taken in 2019? You might think New York, right? Nope. California. In 2019, they had 7,281 units. Now, that was post-pandemic. Who knows now? But I'm sure they're still the leader. But remember, we got 30 million people here in California. Of course, a lot of them are leaving. I think 500,000 left already because of what's going on in this crazy state. But we still have the most pizza restaurants. Okay, what do you think's the oldest pizza franchise in this country? Right away, you're going to think, was it Domino's? Is it Papa John's? I interviewed Papa John, great guy, by the way. What else is there? There's a couple others. Which one do you think it might be? Okay, let me tell you. According to Shakey's Pizza, Sherwood Shaky Johnson opened his first pizza restaurant at 57 and J Street in Sacramento, California, all the way back in 1954. So that's the oldest pizza franchise, Shakey's Pizza. And then what's the oldest or the first pizza place that came into the United States? Anybody know? Let me tell you, I've been here 100 times. It's terrific. In 1905, Gennaro Lombardi applied to the New York City government for the first license to make and sell pizza in this country. He needed a license to make and sell pizza back then. At his grocery store on Spring Street, still there, in what was then a thriving Italian-American neighborhood. We had many Italian-American neighborhoods. So, it was Italian-Americans that brought pizza from Naples to the United States way back then. 1905, Lombardi opened up that first one. So that's it. That's kind of the quick history of pizza here in the United States. Hope you enjoy it. Everybody loves food. We love to talk about food. My son is a chef. We're thinking about doing something that might be really special, recipes and stuff that I know you're going to enjoy, but that's for a little later. So that's it for today. So go out and have a good slice of pizza, and I will tell you this, you will enjoy your pizza much more if you have a glass of Franzese wine along with it. Terrific. Pizza and wine go together, especially Franzese wine. FranzeseWine.com. That's it for today. How do I always leave you? Same way. Be safe. Be healthy. God bless every single one of you while you're enjoying your pizza. Yes, I'll see you next time. Take care.